Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman on midweekpolitics.com.
Hey, welcome back to Midweek Politics. I'm David Pakman. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/midweekpolitics. Hey, have you heard about this Glenn Beck Restoring Honor rally?
Oh, boy.
I love this. You know, it's funny. We put together on YouTube just yesterday, we put up a slideshow of some of the funniest anti-Glenn Beck signs from this event, and within hours it had gotten like thousands of views. I mean, it's amazing how funny a lot of what came out of that the event is. So here's basically the deal. Glenn Beck decided to hold a rally in Washington, D.C. called Restoring Honor, presumably to America. When America lost its honor, I don't know. I would assume it has to do with liberals and Democrats in some way.
America lost its honor when America let Glenn Beck stand up there and make this speech.
So the concern was it's the same day. It's August 28th, and people didn't like the tie-in with Martin Luther King, and there was complaining. And does Glenn Beck think he's Martin Luther King or not? I want to play for you just a few seconds. Here's a compilation of statements Glenn Beck has made, which either sound similar to things Martin Luther King has said or are about Martin Luther King. And you tell me if there's some kind of weird fixation going on between Beck and Martin Luther King. Take a listen.
I have a dream today. I have a dream that we can stop playing not just the blame the messenger game.
I have a duty, and I'm asking you to put yourself in a mindset that is like the mindset of Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King trusted the American people. He was a man of principles and values. You trust the American people, just like he did.
You have the mantle placed on you. You are the ones who are in line. You are the next ones. You are the one that is receiving the mantle of Martin Luther King. You are the ones.
I don't really care about the color of your skin. I don't care if you're an iguana. I want to look at the content of your care. Can somebody please reread Martin Luther King's speeches? Because I think he said that. I think he did.
All right, so clearly there's some kind of weird thing going on with Glenn Beck and Martin Luther King, and Glenn Beck made it very clear he wouldn't stand on the same step that Martin Luther King stood at the mall in Washington, D.C. to deliver this speech, rather at the Lincoln Memorial, and he didn't stand on the same step, but there's definitely something going on. Now, if skin color really doesn't matter to Glenn Beck, why would he say Barack Obama is being influenced by being half black into having a deep-seated hatred for white people? Now, yes, over the last few days, in advance of this event, he said, you know what, maybe I went a little too far on that, I've got a big mouth, etc. He said he didn't take it back for years. I mean, if you can just take something back after, a year or two, it still is going to have the same effect over those couple of years as if you had never said it, is it not?
Right.
Now, the bottom line is this entire thing ended up being really boring. I wish that I could tell you that something got crazy there, if there was some kind of highlights, but really there aren't. I mean, it just ended up being really, really boring. And by the way, speaking of Glenn Beck's racial inclusion, white people as far as the eye could see. Literally. I mean, I don't think, I don't know what the percentage was, but this was an event, and this was the entire premise here, even on August 28th, was one that, for whatever reason, really just appealed to white Americans. Let's take a listen. I mean, we're not going to get through much of this. This is what it sounded like at the Glenn Beck Restoring Honor rally.
If we can say this to each other, and with firm reliance on divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor, we will then know that God is not on our side. Rather, we have put our life in shape so we know we will be on God.
Okay, it just goes on and on and on. You know what's funny? With that echo, I wonder if that echo is added afterwards, Lewis, to make it sound even more grandiose, like he's really giving an incredible speech, or is that actually the authentic echo on his voice that is taking place there?
I don't know, but his delivery is pretty epic.
It's incredible. So let's skip ahead, and here he actually started crying while telling the crowd that somewhere in that crowd was the next George Washington.
Washington, I can't find him. I know he is in this crowd. He may be 8 years old, but this is the moment. This is the moment that he dedicates his life, that he sees giants around him.
Wow. I mean, it's very bizarre. Glenn Beck starts crying. This time, apparently, it was actually crying. It wasn't the Vicks Vapor Rub that he does when he's going to do crying photo shoots. Presumably, maybe it was. I don't know. Sarah Palin was there. We don't need to play any clips of her. I think it's safe to say she showed up, and she certainly refudiated a lot of things while she was there, mostly having to do with Barack Obama. There's again, this is a weird clip. Glenn Beck decided to thank God for a $600,000 donation that went to the Restoring Our Honor rally. People started crying. They were so overcome with emotion. Listen.
And I was on the plane, and I'll never forget, sitting next to my wife, I looked up at the top of that airplane, and I said, Lord, we don't have anything else left. We don't have anything else left. It's up to you now. In 2 days, without saying a word to anyone, $600,000 came in. I am proud to announce, thanks to you, as of right now, and the money is still coming in, we have raised $5.5 million.
I wonder how many of the people actually realize that the donations will pay for the event first, and then they'll go to this Special Operations Warrior Foundation that Glenn Beck is talking about. First, they're going to cover all the cost of that event and of all the people that must be paid, and who knows how much Sarah Palin is charging to go to that event. I don't know for sure if she got paid. I would assume she did. In summary, here's what I want to say about this event. Thank God and thank Glenn Beck for restoring our honor, and God bless America. Thank you very much. That's the only thing I can think of, Louis. I mean, what else can we really say about it?
Not much. I just think clearly this is his biggest publicity stunt yet.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Usually it's just saying something ridiculous to get attention, but this is huge. I'm very proud of him.
I am too, and I can only say let's hope that he does another one of these soon, and maybe he will eventually stand on that same step that Martin Luther King stood on.
Hopefully he doesn't fall and break something.
Midweek Politics is made possible in part by CSR Wire, the corporate social responsibility newswire at csrwire.com, by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.